Welcome to the MacroHabits podcast. I am your host, Hannah. I am so excited for today's episode, you guys. This episode's a little bit lighter. I'm going to be talking about all the things I love, from skincare to food to health and wellness, just kind of like my current favorite things. I am someone that loves to try all the things. Like if my friend posts a new lip liner, I'm trying it. If there's something in the health and wellness realm that's popular, I'm trying it. When it comes to like peptides, NAD, lymphatic drainage, like I've tried all that. I'm currently doing some of that. I'll do a whole other episode all about that. But basically, I love to try something, really see it through, and then develop my own opinion based on my experience. So everything that I am sharing in today's episode, I love. They are like my ride or die products or ride or die things. So we're just going to get right into it with my first thing that I'm loving, which is my Oura ring. I got this Oura ring 2 months ago, and I was apprehensive about getting it just because I've been vocal on my platform before about being anti-tracker device. Like I used to be obsessed with my Apple Watch. I was obsessed with my daily step count goal, which I don't do anymore. I was obsessed with the calorie burn, which I don't really pay attention to anymore. But back in the day when I'd wear my Apple Watch, if I was at the gym and I lifted for 45 minutes and only burned 195 calories, I was so down on myself. I was like, I need to go do cardio. I need to work out harder. But that's before too, I really learned about like how many calories you burn post-workout and all of that stuff. So anyway, I was apprehensive about getting something that tracked those elements, but the Oura ring tracks so much more. And the reason that I wanted the Oura ring, or kind of had this interest in the Oura ring, was for tracking my cycle. I had the IUD for 7 years, which if I could only go back and I would do things differently. I had the Mirena for 7 years. I had 2 over the course of that time period, and I got my IUD out 2 years ago. And I'm so happy I got it out. There were so many issues that the IUD created for me towards the end. Originally, I really liked it. Like, it's an effective form of birth control. Like, back in the day, I loved how I didn't have a period with it because it was just nice not to have one. Now that I'm a little bit older, I'm 29, I'm like, why was I so excited about having something in my body that took away such a natural thing that was supposed to happen every month? I am still regulating my cycle. I do get a period, I would say, like 90% of the time, most months. They aren't very long. They're kind of sometimes sporadic. So after like a year and a half of trying to regulate it and having success in regulating it somewhat, I was like, okay, I really want to get the Oura ring for that aspect of it mostly. And then my friend who has one was telling me all about her sleep score, and she can see like, you know, the breakdown of how she sleeps. And that was really interesting to me, especially being someone that really values sleep. Sleep is a superpower. I am the grandma of my group. I'm always leaving things early to go do my little wind down nighttime routine. So ever since getting the Oura ring, I can confidently say I love being able to track my sleep. I love seeing the sleep score every morning. And I feel like you have to have a different mindset though when you do have a night where you don't get good rest, or a night when you're out really late and your sleep score is bad and it tells you like you need a lot of downtime today, or, you know, try to do this today, and it's unrealistic for what you have to do that day. I just choose to be mentally tough and take it as a challenge to overcome that and power through. I'm still going to have a great day regardless of what my sleep score says. Okay, moving on to one of my ride or die skincare products. I am obsessed with the Skinny Confidential caffeinated tinted sunscreen. This is something I put on every single morning, whether I'm going to the gym, whether I'm doing a full glam look, whether I'm just going to get a coffee. It has the best like sheen glow to it. It has a really nice light coverage. It also has an SPF of 40, which is really important to me. I have pretty severe melasma and hyperpigmentation, and being in the sun, for someone that loves to be in the sun as much as I do, because I am in the sun a lot, I am psycho about always having sunscreen on my face. So this one is just such a good one. It just gives that natural like glow to your skin. I can't explain it. There's caffeine in it, which plumps your skin, but I just am obsessed with how it makes my skin look. So I think that if you are someone, I mean, I would recommend it for anyone, whether you just want a good sunscreen or want something to like have a good primer before you put your makeup on. The Skinny Confidential sunscreen is amazing. And going into the melasma and hyperpigmentation a little, I'm going to do a whole episode about like that and my Accutane journey and just acne in general, because that's been a very big part of my story and something I've been really transparent with online. I'm 29. I know I mentioned that earlier in this episode, but if you are in your early 20s and you are frying your face in the sun, please stop doing that. If I could just go back and do one thing differently, I would put on sunscreen. I used to fry my face in the sun, and I am now suffering with the consequences of a lot of sun damage. Like I said, the hyperpigmentation, the melasma. Like if I walk outside without sunscreen on, just the heat will like flare up my melasma. And it's something I've been really insecure about, but I'm kind of working through, and like I have good makeup hacks and things that help kind of hide it. But if I have nothing on my face, I have a bunch of dark spots all over my cheeks, up above my eyebrows, up above my upper lip. And that's mainly because I fried my face in my early 20s. So wear sunscreen if you're listening to this. That's my one piece of advice. If you get one thing to take away from this episode, make sure you're wearing sunscreen on your face every day. Okay, you guys know coffee is the best part of my day. I am addicted to coffee. I'm aware of my addiction. I'm okay with my addiction. I've come to peace with it. I go to bed at night thinking about my coffee in the morning, and it gives me a boost of serotonin. I know there's girls out there right now listening too who have that same love for their morning coffee. And one thing that's been a game changer for my at-home iced coffee, because I used to be someone that would go out every day and spend money on coffee. Like I'd have different coffee shops where I'd have favorite different coffees at. Now that I have a Keurig and I make my coffee at home, I have to say, like, it's really hard for me to go out and buy a coffee and have it taste better than the one that I make, because I just feel like I perfected mine. I also love that I can like track mine perfectly. Obviously I track macros, and so sometimes when I'm going out to get coffees, I'm just eyeballing the macros, which is fine here and there. But during the week when I'm locked in and in routine, I like that I can make my own coffee at home, and I know the exact macro count for it, and it also tastes so good because of the Symbiotic Nootropic Creamer. It's a coconut vanilla flavor. You guys, it is so good, and it has the best creamy coconut vanilla flavor. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I make my coffee, because I think that I've mastered it. And if you ever come over to my house, I promise you, I will make you a coffee and you will absolutely love it. I've made it for multiple friends, and they all are like, yeah, this really is the best iced coffee. And it's really macro friendly too. So what I do is I use the, it's a Starbucks blonde espresso pods. I just get them off Amazon, but I use 2 of those, and then I use just a medium roast cold brew. I get it from Sprouts, and then I use whole milk, the Symbiotica Nootropic Creamer, and then sometimes I'll throw in 2 to 3 stevia packets if I just want it to be a little bit sweeter. But what I do is I put the Symbiotica Creamer in, it's a powder too. So I put the powder in a cup, and then I pour the shots over the creamer so it like fully emulsifies, and then I pour the cold brew over. I froth all of that together so it's really well mixed in, and there's no chunkiness with the creamer, like everything is really smooth. And then I pour the coffee over ice, and then I add in 3 to 4 ounces of whole milk. Sometimes I'll add in some stevia if I want it sweeter, but it is the best iced coffee in the entire world, and it's the creamer. It's the creamer that really, I feel like, seals the deal on it being the best iced coffee. And I'm a coffee connoisseur. Like, I'm very picky when it comes to coffee. I pride myself on knowing what a good cup of coffee tastes like, and this iced coffee is amazing. If you're not a coffee person and you're a matcha girl, I have some clients that use this in their matcha and they love it. So whether you're a matcha girl or a coffee girl, the coconut vanilla Symbiotica Nootropic Creamer, it's so good and you need it. Going into something else that's in like the food realm, I've talked about this a bajillion times, but I love the Powders hot chocolate. It's something at night I look forward to. One thing about me is I'm going to romanticize the day. Like, I'm going to have little things throughout the day that I'm looking forward to that make my day better. So I'm very detail oriented. And when I like something, I love it. I have a very addictive personality. So that's why, like, the Symbiotica Creamer, like, I do it every morning. This Powders hot chocolate, I basically drink it every night because I just look forward to it and I like it. The Powders hot chocolate is 20 calories. So it's a low calorie treat, which is really nice to have in your back pocket, especially if you're tracking macros or you just have goals in general and you don't want to be having this massive treat every night. Like there is a level of discipline that you have to have when it comes to body recomposition and tracking macros. And the Powders hot chocolate is so good. They have 3 flavors. My favorite is the chocolate caramel. I put a little flake sea salt in there. So I put a scoop of the hot chocolate in a mug, little flake sea salt. I pour 8 to 10 ounces of boiling water, and then I froth it. Once again, you got to fully emulsify the mixture into the water. And then I add 3 to 4 ounces of whole milk, or I'll do a little whipped cream, or I'll do both sometimes, depending on my macros for the day. But when it's with the whole milk, it's under 100 calories, and it's just a good, cozy hot chocolate. It's just the best thing, especially as we're entering the fall and winter months when it gets darker out earlier. It's a little bit more cuddly. It's more cozy. It's colder outside. You want something warm at night. This is what you need to get. It's so good. And then they have a blueberry muffin flavor, which is my second favorite. It kind of reminds me of a Starbucks vanilla steamer with like a blueberry twist. So if you're not a chocolate person, I highly recommend the blueberry muffin flavor. And then the last flavor is a chocolate peppermint, which is really good. If you're a peppermint person, you would love that. I honestly love all 3. I kind of rotate between all 3, but I'd say the one that I gravitate towards most is the chocolate caramel. So that's one of my favorite like treat hacks. And especially like I said, if you're someone that has a sweet tooth, it's such a good thing to have in your pantry. I have the fattest sweet tooth, so having the Powders hot chocolate is a good way to keep me on track during the week. Okay, the next thing that I've been loving is a 30-minute post-dinner walk. This has been so good for my mental health. And although like walking after you eat, there's so many studies out about how it's good for regulating your blood sugar control. It helps with digestion, it helps with bloating, mental health, reducing stress, improving mood. Like there's all these amazing benefits to walking in general, but especially after you eat. I love it for the mental aspect. When I finish dinner and I go on this 30-minute walk, I live in a really beautiful place. So I go right on the beach trail. I'm on the ocean. I honestly don't even bring my AirPods. It's kind of a time where I think about my day. I self-reflect. I might pray during some parts of the walk. I focus on gratitude. It's just such a good little wind down walk, and it really kind of brings me back down to earth and just helps me de-stress. I know sometimes I struggle to balance all the things on my plate, and I can be like a stressed out person. I'm very type A. I love my routine. And so at the end of the evening, just to have 30 minutes to walk outside and de-stress has been a game changer for me. And I've been really, really religious about it and kind of like made it a big part of my routine and made it a priority. And it's been amazing. So if you live in a place where, it's safe and weather permitting, I really encourage you to do a post-dinner walk because it's really helped not only my physical health, like it definitely attributes to my total daily energy expenditure, but it's really good for the mind. And then I am going to do a whole episode about Botox, filler, Sculptra, all of that stuff. I'm actually going to have my injector on. Her name's Molly. She's in Newport Beach. She works at Skin Spirit. She is the best of the best. She's the only person I trust my face with, and I'm going to have her on and just ask all of these questions. I love when people talk about what they do when it comes to injections and treatments and all of that stuff. I just find it really interesting. And although I do get all of those things, I really think the Gua Sha is a miracle worker. Or I think it magnifies everything that I do. It just helps like make it better. But I really do believe that the Gua Sha has helped my jawline. It helps with getting rid of that puffy feeling in the morning. When I wake up in the morning, I am puffy. And I don't know if it's genetic. It actually might be genetic. I love my mom to death. I know she's listening to this. Mom, I love you, but you also wake up puffy. So I'm wondering if I got this from her as well. My mom knows though, she does have an ice roller from me that I left in the freezer that I encourage her to use because in the morning, like I just need to depuff. So my Gua Sha routine is I have a metal Gua Sha. I'm going to have everything linked below. So if you're curious about anything that I'm talking about, I know I'm throwing out a lot of brand names or specifics. It's all going to be linked down below. But I use my Gua Sha and then I use the Skinny Confidential Ice roller. It's the mint roller is the one I like because the mint roller has like 2 sides. And then I use a Skinny Confidential oil. So I romanticize this process because it is a little bit tedious. Like I won't say like I wake up and I'm excited to gua sha, but I put on my worship music or I put on a YouTube video or a podcast, and I start by opening up my lymph nodes. I actually just posted a whole gua sha routine video on my TikTok. So if you're curious about like my exact breakdown of what I do, I have a whole video there that kind of goes into detail. More detail that I'm going into right now, but I open up my lymph nodes and then I start with a little facial massage, and then I take that gua sha and I just scrape it across my jawline. I do it across my cheeks. I do a lot of facial massage with like lifting my brows and all that stuff. So I really think the gua sha has changed my face, and whether you want to believe that or not, I know that it helps with the puffiness, getting rid of water retention, lymphatic drainage, and all of that stuff. So gua sha, I think you really should try it. If you've been apprehensive to try it, or you're like, I don't think this works, like try it for 4 to 6 weeks and do it every day for 5 to 10 minutes. And I really think you'll see a difference. And if you try this and you see a difference, DM me and let me know, because I'm very passionate about the gua sha. Okay, I know we talked earlier about my hyperpigmentation, melasma, all of my sunspots that I did to myself because, like I said, I fried my face in the sun the majority of my 20s. One thing that I love is the Freckle Pen. And I feel like this really helps my confidence with all of my sunspots because I use the Freckle Pen and it kind of like blends it all together, and it makes it like my sunspots look a little bit more intentional. Like it makes them look more freckly rather than these like dark discolored spots all over my face. So there's 2 Freckle Pens I am obsessed with. Like they are so good. One is the Tarte Freckle Pen. It's got 3 prongs. It's actually more of a stamp. So like you stamp it down and then stamp it on wherever you want to do freckles. And it just gives these little tiny dots, and it's amazing. It stays on all day. And then the next one that I use with it, it's more of like, it has like a wetter consistency, and the applicator is more of like a paintbrush, and you dip it into the you dip it into the tube and then tap it all over your nose or on top of your cheeks, wherever you're putting your freckles. And then you take your hands or your fingers and you like dab it all over. If you're watching this on YouTube, I'm like visually explaining how I do this right now. I'll make a TikTok of how I use my Freckle Pen before this is out. But these freckles are so cute, and I love these 2 pens. I've tried a lot of different ones through my time, and these 2 are my ride or dies. They stay on all day. They blend out really nicely because you don't want your freckles you don't want to like necessarily look like you're using a freckle pen. I mean, sometimes I do a lot and I get a little carried away. I will say I'm heavy-handed with the freckles, but I feel like I have the base to do that because I just have so many natural sunspots. But I have some friends that will just do like a few up above their nose or on their cheeks, and it's so cute. It just kind of like gives a little bit of a sun-kissed look too. So the Freckle Pen, the Tarte one, and the other one I use is called Baby Go Freckle. That one's from Amazon, and like I said, it's going to be linked down below. But I am loving the Freckle Pen. And another thing I'm loving on my face is lip liner. And I used to never wear lip liner. Shout out to my friend Lexi Thompson, because I went to Nashville with her like a year ago now. Yeah, it's been a year. And we stayed in the same hotel, and she was doing her makeup every day, and she's really good at makeup. And so I was kind of like watching her and being like, all right, I need you to help me because you're doing your makeup so good. Like, what are all these steps? What are all these products? And one thing that she told me, she's like, you need to wear lip liner. And I was like, no, that's just not my look. Like I just had this vision of lip liner looking a certain way. And then when she did it on me and like I did it with the right gloss and kind of blended it out, I was like, oh my gosh, this is a game changer. It like completes the face. It makes your lips look a little bit bigger, a little bit juicier. And so I'm obsessed with lip liner now. I've gotten so many. If anyone ever posts a lip liner that they love, I am the first one to buy it and try it. So the ones that I absolutely love are the Makeup Forever Universal Earth and Limitless. Those 2 colors are amazing, and they're especially amazing with the Summer Fridays Brown Sugar. The Brown Sugar Summer Fridays is another like gloss that I am like absolutely obsessed with. I wear it almost every single day. I love all of the Summer Fridays like gloss colors, but there's something about the brown sugar paired with the Limitless or the Universal Earth. Sometimes I'll mix the two or use one of the two. It's so good. It's like my favorite lip combo. And if you're someone who actually, and I feel like too, if you have like brunette hair or if you're brunette and you have like tan skin, this combo looks especially good for that. So you need to try it and let me know if you do try it. With anything that I'm saying, I always love feedback. So if you guys try any of these things and you love it or love one of the products, you have to let me know. I know that right now there's a trend going on with a thinner, kind of skinnier brow. I've been seeing it all over Instagram Reels, all over TikTok. And that will be a trend that I will not be participating in ever. I have naturally very thick brows and I just love a thick brow. Like I want 2 caterpillars above my eyes. I want the featheriest, thickest brows. So I do get my brows laminated and I go to Callista at the Sculpted Brow. She's in Dana Point. If you're in Orange County, I always post my people all the time, but you can always DM me too and I'll let you know who I go to and where I go. But I get my brows laminated so they kind of have a natural, like they naturally kind of sit up straight. And I have been on a journey with brow gel because I've tried every brow gel out there. Like I actually think I've tried over 10 different ones and I've hated them all. Like eventually, like I might like them for the first hour, I might like them for the first day. But what always happens with brow gel in my experience, and I don't know if it's because I also have really dark brows, but I get like gets this like dandruffy, like pilly thing. It's from the product and it'll start to like pill and it looks like dandruff on my brows and it drives me insane and I hate it. So I've tried, like I said, a million of them and I have finally found a brow gel that doesn't do that. This brow gel is so good. It holds my brows in place the entire day. It doesn't matter if I work out, if I'm on a walk, if I'm at the beach, like it just is like super glue. And it's funny because it's called, what is this called? It's called the Brow Glue. It's the NYX brow gel and it's called the Brow Glue. You guys, it is so good. If you're someone that likes that kind of slick laminated look, you need this product. It's also like $9, I want to say, but I'm obsessed with it. And I will have thick brows for forever, no matter what the trend is. I also think it lifts your face. Like when you use the brow gel and you get your brows like really, slicked back and high and tight, it lifts your face a little. And I just love it. So the NYX brow gel is amazing. I'm also someone that's obsessed with smell and like being moisturized. Like I'm always like trying out different lotions and I'm very specific with scents. When I was younger, my family I would drive them crazy. They would call me like a hound dog because I could smell anything, whether it was bad or it was good. Like I just have always been very aware of scents and smells. And a recent lotion that I have been obsessed with for multiple reasons is the Nivea body cream with almond oil. It is such a good lotion. And the reason I'm going to recommend this one over other ones that I love is because this one is a great canvas for perfume. Because if you put on a bunch of lotion that smells really good and then you put on a perfume, sometimes those can clash and then you kind of smell too intense or there's just like a lot going on. So with the Nivea one, I love using this one because then I can put on whatever perfume I want and it doesn't take away the scent of the perfume. It's also a really nice sheen, like it gives you a little bit of a glow, but it's not sticky. Like there's some lotions I've used before and I put it on and then I feel like wet and sticky all day. I feel like it almost gets on my clothes too. And it's just like, it's not the vibe. I don't like it. And then there's other lotions where I put them on and 3 seconds later, my skin is dry again. And I'm like, what happened? Like this is not moisturizing in the slightest. So the Nivea one with the almond oil, not only does it smell good, has a good clean scent, not overpowering, it moisturizes you without you feeling like wet and sticky. It's like the perfect amount of moisture. So I'm loving that one. And then another thing about me, I know we touched on earlier that I'm a detail-oriented person. Like I like to romanticize the day. My friends kind of always make fun of me. They're like, what are you doing today to romanticize it? And I'm like, oh, I'm going to this location and making sure that I have this drink and I'm listening to this podcast. I'm going to romanticize that 30-minute drive. I just think that's what life's about. Like you got to like really make the mundane things exciting. It just makes life a lot better. So The Bloom Shirley Temple prebiotic soda is so good, you guys. Like, I have tried every carbonated beverage out there. I don't drink alcohol, so I feel like because I don't drink, I'm always having like some carbonated beverage in my hand. And the Bloom Shirley Temple one, that flavor specifically is unbelievable. It literally tastes like your childhood. If you were someone that drank Shirley Temples growing up, like I feel like that's something I would always drink at restaurants. It has the same exact flavor. I don't know how this soda is only 20 calories, but it is so good. I love having it after lunch because after lunch, I'm usually doing like a savory lunch, whether it's like chicken and veggies or an egg white omelet or, some type of like savory thing. I always need a little sweet after, and the Bloom prebiotic soda has been the best little afternoon sweet treat. And it's 20 calories, so you're not like wrecking your macros for the day, and it's satiating. The Shirley Temple is the best one. Like, I will die on that hill. Best one. But I also love the strawberries and cream, the orange one. You have to try them. If you're someone that likes carbonated beverages, you really got to try the Shirley Temple one. Also, they're kind of hard to find. It took me a minute to find them, but the Bloom prebiotic sodas, I've found them at Target and Walmart. Okay, another carbonated beverage that I'm obsessed with that I drink every night is the Zevia Creamy Root Beer. That flavor specifically is so good. It's always in my routine. I always make dinner, and I romanticize making dinner. Like, I have these little lights that go around my family room that's kind of connected to my kitchen. I turn on Spotify. Like, I have a dinner playlist I play. I make sure the kitchen is clean. And then I crack my little creamy root beer Zevia and I make dinner, and it's just a vibe. It's just a great time. And the creamy root beer Zevia really adds to that. It's so good. If you like root beer too, you'll like be obsessed with it. But I drink that every single night with dinner. So the Shirley Temple prebiotic soda is my afternoon drink, and then the Zevia one is my dinner drink. And then I have my Powders hot chocolate to finish out the day. So yeah, I really do have all these little drinks that I love to drink throughout the day. Okay, I get so many questions about my jewelry, and I love jewelry. I will say, like, jewelry is something that I think can really adds so much to an outfit. It can really elevate your outfit and just like elevate your day-to-day look. So I always get questions on my earrings and like my necklaces, and I would say the majority of my earrings, especially my hoops, I'm wearing a pair of them right now. I have these in all different sizes, but RG by the Sea has the best jewelry. It's not cheap and it's not ultra expensive. It's kind of somewhere in the middle. It lasts, they last for forever, but they don't tarnish. I've worn their jewelry in the ocean, in the sauna, in workouts, probably in places you shouldn't wear that type of jewelry in. But sometimes I'm just like, I don't want to take it off. I'm lazy. I'm just going to jump in the ocean with all of this on. And it never tarnishes. It never gets that weird metal smell. I think that's probably one of my most asked questions in DMs of what I'm wearing is my jewelry. So majority of it is RG by the Sea, and I can't recommend them enough. If you're in Orange County, they have a storefront in San Clemente, and they have a storefront at the Irvine Spectrum that they just opened. But their hoops are incredible, you guys. Like, I can't say that enough. They have all different sizes. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm wearing kind of the smaller size. But I love a big hoop too, especially with like a high pony. I think it really adds to the outfit. And all of my bigger hoops, the majority of them are from RG by the Sea. I also have a Hannah necklace that like has individual, like the letters are individual on the strand or on the string or on the chain. Third time's a charm. And that one is also from RG by the Sea, and I get questions on that necklace specifically all the time. So if you're looking for good jewelry that you can wear in the ocean, you don't have to worry about tarnishing, go to RG by the Sea, or you can also shop them online. And then the last thing that the second to last thing that I'm going to talk about with my favorites, kind of random, but it's something I'm very passionate about, which is oral health care. Like, I don't think it's talked about enough. I just went to my dentist a few weeks ago, and you're supposed to go to the dentist every 6 months, get a good teeth cleaning. I'm just obsessed with like having fresh breath, like white teeth. I tongue scrape a bajillion times a day. I do the whole, like I have a good electric toothbrush. I love mouthwash. I love all those things. Okay. And sometimes gum makes me bloated. Like I know that might sound kind of weird, but if I chew too much gum throughout the day, it starts to give me a stomach ache. So I've found these little disposable mouthwashes and I'm obsessed with them. They're amazing. They're these little blue, just small packets, and they're so easy to travel with. You throw them in your purse. I do them before and after the gym. They're great for travel, like at the airport or just like your day-to-day life. Like if you just need to mouthwash really quick and you don't want to chew gum, you need to get these little mouthwashes. They're called My Smile disposable mouthwashes. I get them on Amazon and they're amazing. I will, like I said, have them linked down below, but it's also a good hack too if you're dating, if you're on a date and you're on your way out of the restaurant, running to the restroom really quick to reapply your lip liner and lip gloss that I recommended. Grab that mouthwash too, and your breath is going to be amazing and you're going to feel confident, and it's the best thing. Okay, the last thing I'm going to talk about, I made a whole TikTok about this, but Target lately, the flats at Target have been incredible. I'm 5'10", so I'm a tall gal, okay? I don't need any extra height on me, and I've really been into flats lately. I think flats, like, they give your look a little bit more of a sophisticated, elevated look. I also love pairing like a sporty shirt with jeans and then flats. Like you're kind of mixing and matching different vibes, but it all works at the same time. I'm actually wearing a pair of my Target flats right now. They're these brown Target loafers. But you guys, Target flats are so good and they're so comfortable. Like that's what I'm shocked about is I bought all of these flats and I was like, all right, I'm going to make a video about these, but I need to like walk around in all of these for a minute to see if they're comfortable. And they are. Like I've worn them all multiple times. No blisters. They don't rub your feet wrong. They're very well priced. They're at Target. So I think they're like anywhere from like $30 to $40 maybe. Like they're really inexpensive for a shoe and they're just so cute. And this fall, I can tell that flats are going to be something I'm going to hyper fixate on, and I'm going to have them in all these different colors and different patterns because they add so much to an outfit without adding the height, because I don't need the height. If you like height, then maybe flats aren't your journey. But for me and my 5'10" self, like flats are my journey this fall. So all of my favorite Target flats are linked in my Shop My, which I'm going to link down below. And like I always make TikToks of little hauls that I do and little finds that I do. But if you're looking for a good flat, go to Target. And that kind of wraps up all of my favorites. Those are the things that I am very passionate about and I've tried and I've loved and I would recommend to anyone. So I'm thinking about doing this like monthly, like kind of like a monthly favorites episode. I also want to do a monthly Q&A where I can just kind of do an anything goes Q&A. I think that's what I'm going to film next week is just a random Q&A. I'll put on my Instagram, ask away, ask me anything. I know I've maintained a little bit more of a private and personal persona on Instagram. Like I've kept MacroHabits very business focused. It obviously is a business. Like the bread and butter of like what I do is my coaching program, which is obviously MacroHabits is the name of it. And so I'm excited for this podcast because I want to be able to talk to you guys a little bit more freely, show my personality a little bit more, and just talk about things that interest me or things that I've been through in the realm of health, fitness, relationships, spirituality, family dynamics, friendships. Like I could talk about, I could yap on for a long time. So anyways, that is today's episode. I will see you guys next week. And like I said, everything is linked down below if you have any questions. But thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you guys next week.